Hello, guys, and welcome back to another edition of Talking Baseball with the Earle Brothers. My name is Nicholas Earle, joined here by my brother Tim. And today, there might be one or two tomorrow that we might not be able to cover because we just want to get this video out. But we have All-Star Game replacements, players that are taking over for. Most of these are a lot of pitchers that pitch today or tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday. That's what a lot of these guys are. Some are due to injuries and things along those lines, which is interesting because we do have one player going from All-Star replacement to an All-Star Game starter on Tuesday, which is kind of interesting there from one position. But definitely some of these guys that I think were deserving to make it in the first go-around that rightfully made it in here on the second time around. And still, we got a couple snubs because I still don't see Juan Soto here, and I still don't see George Springer here. The two players I said were the biggest snubs in the first go-around. But first, before we get in any names and everything like that, feel like there's some that you are happy to see on this list?
Of course. I mean, we're going to talk about them, but, I mean, I love when all my Mets get in there. So I am happy about what's his name, David Peterson. But I love seeing some of these guys get in. We'll kind of discuss each one of them. A couple of them I'm actually really excited for. And then there was a couple head scratchers.
Yeah, let's get it started here with somebody that is now not only an all-star, but he's an all-star game starter. Third baseman for the Tampa Bay Rays, Junior Caminero. He is a injury replacement for Alex Bregman, who is back but is choosing to rest during the All-Star break, which is fine because he's replacing Alex Bregman, who is resting after dealing with an injury for the first half of the year. I think this is deserved. I think Caminero is one of the bright young stars potentially in this game. 252 batting average so far this year, but 23 home runs and 60 RBIs, a 793 OPS, and we'll also be seeing him in the All-Star game, or in the Home Run Derby, not bad, this upcoming Monday. So that would be a lot of fun to see him in the All-Star game. I think well-deserving here. The not eligible for Rookie of the Year, Junior Caminero.
Yeah, real quick, you said starters. There's something that I missed with Jose Ramirez.
Yes, we will get into that in a little bit.
Okay, heard. I do think there's a little bit of a Caminaro's been great. I can't go against him. I'm all right with that. Yeah, I like Junior Caminero in this spot. You've got he's now second in RBIs among third basemen in baseball. He's number one in RBIs for third baseman in the American League. So I'm all right with that. You can make an argument for Isaac Paredes, but other than that, I'm kind of cool with Caminero.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for Isaac Paredes, or you can congratulate him for making the All-Star game. The next one we'll talk about here, third baseman.
Oh, that one wasn't even in the thing. Okay,
Isaac Paredes. You know, he was on the list. He is a injury replacement for Jose Ramirez. Ramirez is nursing an Achilles injury and has opted out of playing in the All-Star game. Isaac Paredes with a 254 batting average, 19 home runs, 49 RBIs, and an 818 OPS. I think he's fit really well at Houston, being able to pepper that left field. As I'm drawing a blank on what the left field in Houston's Crawford boxes. Thank you. Being able to just pepper the Crawford boxes. I think that was a match made in heaven for Isaac Paredes. And hear me out. The Astros cooked on that Kyle Tucker trade.
Oh, for sure.
Smith and Isaac Paredes in that same package. I think they did awesome with that. All-star Isaac Paredes, third baseman for the Houston Astros, replacing Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, I didn't even see him on the list, so I guess he was down a little bit. I guess I missed it. No, I like Isaac Paredes. He's been really, really good this year. I made the argument because he's got the second most RBIs in the American League for a second base for a third baseman. So, I was wondering where he was, and boom, there he is. Cool. Keep in mind, I haven't been on Twitter all day. I just got home from work not too long ago, so I haven't been able to see a couple of these.
Yep. And we'll keep on the third baseman track before we get into some pitchers here in the American League. A little bit of an underrated player here, Tim. Michael Garcia, third baseman for the Kansas City Royals. Weren't wrong, just early. He's somebody that analytics thought was going to break out 3 years ago and 2 years ago and last year and this year. And he finally has this year. Only 8 home runs, but 40 RBIs, 18 stolen bases, hitting 298 with an 809 OPS. He's been awesome. He's been one of, 3 useful bats in that Kansas City lineup, Witt and Pasquantino, the other 2. He has definitely been an above-average bat that's really helped out this Kansas City Royals offense. If it wasn't for him and obviously Witt and Pasquantino, that lineup would be nothing.
Yeah, good for him. Finally having his breakout year. I think they made the right choices with all these. I'm cool with all the replacements for third base.
Any other third baseman? Huh?
Who is he replacing again?
Michael Garcia will be replacing. I just had this. He'll be replacing Brennan Lau, second baseman from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Heard, got it. I was about to say they have 3 third basemen coming in. I'm like, huh?
They replaced the second baseman with one of them. There. I
love these next 2.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see him on the list. I mean, I don't know if you can make it. And you probably could make arguments for other pitchers that could have made it over him. But Casey Mize of the Detroit Tigers, love this. He is 9-3 with a 3.15 ERA, 88 2/3 innings pitched, 77 strikeouts, a 1.22 WHIP. He is, I want to say, the 2 starter for the best team in the league, Detroit Tigers. Replacing Garrett Crochet, left-handed pitcher from the Boston Red Sox. Crochet voluntarily declined to participate in the All-Star game. So it was just a opt-out of the All-Star game there for Crochet. Casey Mize will be taking his spot, starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Very happy to see him in there, especially after going through Tommy John and everything a couple years ago.
Yeah, the former number 1 overall pick finally gets in. I'm excited for Casey Mize. I'm excited to see him. I'm trying to think of I don't want there. Oh, okay. I was trying to look up stats, and all of a sudden I'm like, all right, let's go look at pitchers real quick. And then it showed me RBIs. I'm like, that's not what I wanted. But no, Casey Mize definitely deserves a spot in there. I was trying to see whether or not, I feel like he was probably the most deserving one out of these. So, yeah, I'm down with that.
I feel like the only one you can make an argument for instead of Casey Mize wouldn't be really eligible to pitch in the All-Star game because he pitched tonight, and that would be Framber Valdez.
I was about to say Valdez is having a great year.
I feel like you can make the argument for him over Mize. I feel like you can make the argument for him over Rodón, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But other than that, I really like the pick of Casey Mize. Hey, Tim, we finally got one here, Tim. One of our snubs from the snub video, Joe Ryan.
Yes.
I had a picture of the Minnesota Twins. 19 games so far this year, 9-4 record, a 2.72 ERA, 109 1/3 innings pitched, 121 strikeouts, and a .91 WHIP. Much deserved for Joe Ryan here. Really like to see that. He was an injury replacement for Hunter Brown. Who actually not an injury replacement. Hunter Brown will be pitching tomorrow against the Texas Rangers, and will spend the All-Star break week resting. So still congratulations to Hunter Brown, absolute stud, who is going to be really good for the next for a good amount of time, I think, with the Houston Astros. But replacing him is Joe Ryan, who I thought absolutely should have made it to begin with. I thought he should have made it over a couple pitchers originally on the roster, and I'm happy to see him make it in here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, whenever one of our picks for one of the bigger snubs and it gets in, always great. Love to see it. And Joe Ryan's been absolutely great for this Minnesota Twins team this year. So definitely happy that he was able to get in.
Yeah. And now we'll go from a starter to a reliever here. This reliever is replacing a starter, though. It shows just a bullpen. At that point in the game, it doesn't really matter, starter or reliever. Closer for the Kansas City Royals, Carlos Estevez, who has been awesome this year for the Royals after pitching with the Angels and the Phillies last year, giving up that grand slam to Francisco Lindor, by the way. This year, 3-2 in 40 games pitched, 3-2 record, a 1.98 ERA, 41 innings pitched, 35 strikeouts, 107, 1.07 WHIP. So he's been absolutely phenomenal for the Kansas City Royals. He'll be replacing Jacob deGrom, who pitched against the Houston Astros tonight. I wanted to see Jacob deGrom selfishly in the All-Star game, and he's still an All-Star. I miss him in New York. I do. He is, when healthy, one of the best pitchers in baseball, but replacing him here is Carlos Estevez, who has been an absolute stud out of that bullpen for the Kansas City Royals. Don't be surprised if he's traded at the deadline.
I don't know what his contract looks like, but I could see it if it's a rental piece. But no, Carlos Estevez, I remember he was one of the big acquisitions last year during the deadline. He's a solid arm. Obviously, he hates pitching against the Mets, apparently. But other than that, he's been really, really good this year. So, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with this one.
The next one, I'm not cool with. I don't mind him as a player, but I'm sticking with my guns that someone else deserved it over him. Just gonna put that out there. Randy Arozarena, outfielder for Seattle Mariners. He's been good this year. 249 average, 16 home runs, 46 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, and 808 OPS. He's replacing Julio Rodríguez, who shouldn't have made it to begin with. This should have been George Springer. This should have been George Springer. I don't know how he's not in this game, and it pisses me that he's not. Julio voluntarily declined to participate in the All-Star game, so that's why he is not going to be in it. But for me, I'll reiterate it one more time. This should have been George Springer.
Can I say that it should have been somebody else? Not named George Springer?
Are you going to bring up Cody Bellinger?
I am going to bring up Taylor Ward. Just because the Angels don't have a player in the All-Star game now, because you mentioned Kikuchi's replacement. So they don't have anybody in there. Tyler Ward, 21 homers and 65 RBIs this year. It's been big on this team. I personally, I would have chosen him over Randy Arozarena, but you have to have some big name, fun people in there, and I understand why they went with Randy Arozarena. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my guns. I mean, you could have made the argument for Bellinger. You could have made the argument for Taylor Ward. It's George Springer leading that.
Even Joe Adell. You can make the argument for Joe
Adell. And sorry to Angels fans if you guys still exist, that you don't have an All-Star this year. There you go. But we'll move on. Carlos Rodón is an All-Star.
Fine.
For the New York Yankees. This is bullshit. I will give a different player that should have made it over him. Granted, he wouldn't be able to pitch, but once again, this should have been Framber Valdez. However, I know he won't be pitched. This also should have been Seth Lugo. You see what Lugo's done this year?
Yeah, you can make that argument.
ERA and 101 innings pitched. He's been awesome. Where's Seth Lugo here? Where's Framber Valdez here? No, we got to give it to the frickin' Yankee, who has an over 3 ERA. So no, I don't agree with Rodón. He's now granted. Here's the rationale from MLB. We got to have our Yankees, and he's replacing another Yankee in Max Fried, who pitched today. But still, this should have been Framber Valdez. This should have been Seth Lugo. It shouldn't have been Rodón.
Yeah, I would have. Well, the thing, Valdez couldn't pitch anyway, but I agree. But Rodón is having a good year. A 3.08 ERA, 135 strikeouts, and 119 innings. he deserves to be an all-star, but I understand you thinking that there's players that deserve it more.
Yeah. And talking about players who deserve it.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I saw this name and I'm like, hell yeah. Drew Rasmussen from the Tampa Bay Rays. This guy's been through, I feel like, a couple surgeries, and he's come back and he's been an absolute stud this year. 7-5 record, but a 2.86 ERA and 91 and a third innings pitched, 77 strikeouts, and a 1.03 whip. Love this pick. He'll be replacing Yusei Kikuchi from the LA Angels. So unfortunately, no Angels in the All-Star game, but Drew Rasmussen very, very much deserved over a lot of different players. I mean, obviously he's in, but like I would have given him over Rodón as well. So Drew Rasmussen, love this All-Star for the Tampa Bay Rays.
He's the reason why the Tampa Bay Rays are competitive right now. Although I believe Tampa is now fourth in the division again. So there you go. But no, Tampa. He's one of the reasons why Tampa is competitive right now. So yes, I love the fact that Drew Rasmussen's in the All-Star game. I really like the next one too.
Yeah. Before we switch over, I was looking through, and I think I have one more snub that we didn't talk about that didn't make the All-Star game. Granted, only 83 and a third innings pitched, but he's thrown to a 1.62 ERA. Where's Nathan Eovaldi?
I wasn't gonna bring up Eovaldi, but I was gonna bring up Nick Pivetta, but anyways.
Yeah, that was one player that I was kind of looking at. I'm like, Nathan Eovaldi with a 1.62 ERA and 83 and a third innings pitched is not an all-star, but Rodón with an over 3 ERA in like 90-something innings pitches. So something kind of interesting.
Although ERA is not everything to me, so.
Yeah. We'll move to the National League, which the National League is nothing but pitchers. Nothing but pitchers so far for All-Star game replacements. We'll start it off replacing Freddie Peralta of the Milwaukee Brewers, a Milwaukee Brewers pitcher. How about Trevor McGill for the Milwaukee Brewers?
Love it.
And this is not the last Brewer we'll talk about. And actually, we have two Brewer pitchers. We have one more after this. I mean, I love seeing McGill make the All-Star game. He's been good this year, 2-2 record, but 2.41 ERA and 33 and 2/3 innings pitched, 43 strikeouts, to 1.16 whip. And so far this season, I'm trying to find his saves number. 21 saves for the Milwaukee Brewers this year. He's been an absolute stud. Happy to see him in the All-Star game.
Yeah, he's the successor to Devin Williams. But we knew he had the stuff.
Might be better than Devin Williams.
He's got a very lively fastball that touches 100 plus, and he's got a nasty slider. He's a 2-pitch pitcher, but he's nasty. So yeah, Trevor McGill 100% deserves it, unlike the next guy.
And yes, I agree. He doesn't deserve it. He absolutely does not. And I want to preface this by saying I love this pitcher. I am a huge fan of this pitcher. I think he's an absolute stud. Jacob Misiorowski does not deserve to be in the All-Star game.
No, he does not.
Sorry. He's had 5 starts.
25 innings.
25 and 2/3 innings pitched, which is, by the way, the least amount of innings pitched for a pitcher getting announced to an All-Star game ever. 33 strikeouts in them. Absolute stud. And if he comes in and throws an inning, be prepared to see 103. Absolutely.
Oh, he's good. No. He's going to pitch. You know he's going to pitch.
You don't force him into this All-Star game if he's not going to pitch. He's going to light up the radar gun. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I get it. But if innings are not a thing, Kodai Senga, Christopher Sanchez, there's other arguments. And don't get me wrong. I love Misiorowski. I think he's an absolute stud. But, I mean, when you look at it here, by the way, he is replacing Matthew Boyd in the All-Star game.
Which was questionable whether or not he deserved it.
Nick Pivetta could have been announced over him. Clay Holmes could have been announced over him. Nick Lodolo could have been announced over him. There's a bunch of guys that I feel like had better arguments than Mizorowski in his 5 starts, but that's just me.
This is definitely your most controversial one here. And no, I don't believe he deserves a spot in the All-Star game. And that's not me saying that I don't like him. I'm a big fan of him. Just cannot really be interested in a guy that's pitched five games this year. So Mizorowski, love him, does not deserve it.
We'll move on though, and absolutely Mizorowski's in the thumbnail.
Yes.
Next one here, me and you love this one, Tim. Starting pitcher, New York Mets, David Peterson, has been really, really reliable for the New York Mets this year in a rotation that has been banged up, has been injured. Manaya's missed the whole year so far. He'll be pitching tomorrow. Yep. Montez missed a decent amount of time. Senga's missed some time. David Peterson's been the steady arm in that rotation. 6-4 is a 3.06 ERA, 109 innings pitched, 93 strikeouts, a 1.24 WHIP. Absolutely love this. Probably Christopher Sanchez deserved it a little bit more than David Peterson, but the Phillies fans can kick rocks. So I love seeing David Peterson in there. I'm just missing one Met that I believe deserves it, and then we're good.
Yep, I know that's Soto, but I love David Peterson. He's having a great year. He had a couple of bad starts recently against Pittsburgh and Philly. Other than that, he's been lights out all year long. 100% deserved it in the beginning. I was really excited when they announced it. So, yes, 100% deserved it.
Yes, and for the second and final time this video, the next one we'll talk about here was one on our snubs video.
Yep.
We got it. We got him, Tim. Andrew Abbott is an all-star for the Cincinnati Reds. 8-1 this year in 16 starts, a 2.07 ERA and 91 in the third innings pitched, 83 strikeouts, a 1.08 WHIP. Absolute stud pitching in Cincinnati. And to throw to an ERA at 2.07 in Cincinnati is absolutely insane. That is a very difficult ballpark to pitch in. He should have absolutely made it earlier than that. Oh, by the way, he was the replacement for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. David Peterson replaced Robbie Ray, both those pitching on Sunday. Andrew Abbott, replacement for Yamamoto, absolutely deserved it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't remember what argument I made for him that he wasn't as big of a snub. But Andrew Abbott definitely deserves to be in the All-Star game. He's been fantastic for the Cincinnati team all year long. And, it is – I made the argument, I think, because he only had, 14 starts or something at the time when a lot of pitchers were at 17, 18 starts. I think I made that argument, but Abbott 100% deserves it with this 2.07 ERA and 91 in the third innings pitched.
Yep. And then to our final name on this list, which is kind of interesting because he is a relief pitcher and he's not a closer.
Nope.
He has 2 saves this year. Adrian Morejon, relief pitcher from the San Diego Padres. Very underrated pitcher here. 7-3 record, 46 appearances so far this year. 1.67 ERA and 43 innings pitched. 41 strikeouts, a 0.81 WHIP. He's been an absolute stud out of that San Diego bullpen, which that bullpen's been absolutely elite this year. And I'm very happy to see him in there. Very underrated relief pitcher out of San Diego, the little southpaw there in the bullpen. With what he's done so far this year, even though he's not a closer, and we rarely see non-closers make all-star games. I think he's one that does deserve it.
Yes, and it is kind of cool to see a non-closer get in because you never really see that. It's always the closer because the closer is always the best pitcher, but it is good to see him. Shout out to Morejon was able to get into the All-Star game. Who was he replacing again?
He'll be replacing Zach Wheeler.
That's right, because Wheeler pitches tomorrow.
Wheeler pitched today.
He pitched today. He had a good game today.
Even though the Padres won that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Adrian Morejon, the last player we'll talk about there.
Yep.
That is all of the All-Star Game replacements. Now, there could be some tomorrow. I don't know how many there will be. So if there is any tomorrow, I'm sorry we missed them. Hopefully we missed Juan Soto. I'm just continuing to put that out there. But, yep, that is – just put that in the air. Any other ones that you thought were still snubs after all the replacements other than Soto and Springer?
I'll die on the hill of Jackson Holiday. I still think he's having a hell of a year, and the fact that he was voted in the top 2 and then didn't even get into the All-Star game just doesn't make sense to me. But other than that, Soto. But I think we're pretty good at this point.
Yeah. But that is everything for All-Star Game replacement players. Let us know in the comment section below who you thought should have made it in, who you thought made it in that maybe shouldn't have, and things along those lines. Let us know in the comment section below. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And that is going to wrap it up for this one. Well, thank you guys as always for watching. And we'll catch you guys in the next video, which we'll probably record tomorrow. Home Run Derby breakdown. We're breaking down the field and maybe picking a winner. So that's going to do it for that one. This one. Thank you guys as always for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.